Right now, your brain is doing something strange behind the scenes. It's making assumptions, jumping to conclusions, editing your memories, and even shaping how you see yourself. And you're not even aware of it. We like to think we're logical, in control, and always thinking clearly. But the truth? Psychology shows us that much of our behavior is shaped by hidden forces we rarely question. In this video by Think Wise, you're going to discover 15 psychological facts that are so surprising, so weird, and so real, they'll completely change how you see your mind and everyone else's. Let's dive in. Your brain decides before you do. Your brain makes a choice before you become aware of it. In brain scan experiments, scientists discovered that we often unconsciously make decisions several seconds before we consciously believe we've decided. So when you think you're making a split-second choice, your brain already made it quietly in the background. This doesn't mean you have no free will, but it does mean you're not always the one driving the car. Talking to yourself improves focus. No, you're not losing it. In fact, if you talk to yourself while trying to solve a problem, remember something, or calm down, you're using a real psychological strategy. Self-talk helps you organize thoughts, stay calm under pressure, and make decisions more clearly. That little, okay, let's figure this out whisper, that's your brain giving itself instructions, and it works better than silence. Time slows down in moments of fear. When you're afraid, whether it's a fall, a car swerve, or a dangerous moment, your perception of time changes. Your brain records more detail, so it feels like everything slows down. It's not because time literally changes, but because your awareness speeds up. This is your brain trying to protect you, giving you a sharper focus in critical moments. Silence makes people uncomfortable, and honest silence in a conversation can feel awkward, but it's one of the most powerful psychological tools. When you ask a question and stay completely quiet, the other person feels the urge to fill the silence, often revealing more than they planned. This trick is used in therapy, business deals, and negotiations. Silence isn't empty, it's loaded with pressure. Learn to sit with it, and you gain control. Emotions are contagious. You don't need to say anything. Just being around someone who's angry, anxious, or excited can change how you feel. This is because of mirror neurons, which copy the emotional states of others. That's why you feel tense around stressed people or energized around happy ones. Your brain is wired for emotional syncing, even if you don't notice it happening. 6. People remember emotion, not words. You've probably forgotten the exact words someone said to you years ago, but you still remember how they made you feel. Psychologists say people don't hold on to exact conversations. They store emotional memory. This is why kindness, tone, and attention matter so much. People may forget your compliments, but they'll remember the warmth. 7. The brain experiences rejection like physical pain. When you feel rejected, whether in love, friendship, or a job, your brain lights up in the same areas that respond to physical pain. That's why rejection can feel like being hit in the chest. It's not just in your head. It's in your biology. Our brains treat social survival with the same seriousness as physical survival. 8. Your brain listens even when you're not paying attention. Imagine you're in a crowded room, ignoring the noise. Then suddenly, you hear your name. That's the cocktail party effect. Your brain is quietly scanning all the sounds around you, ready to alert you if something personally important pops up. You're tuned out, but also tuned in. It's like your brain runs a background app, constantly searching for keywords. 9. Your brain fills in gaps with assumptions. When you don't know the full story, your brain doesn't sit patiently. It fills the gap with guesses. That's why you might assume someone's mad just because they didn't text back, or you interpret a glance as judgment. Your mind is wired to complete the puzzle, even if it gets it wrong. This is called confabulation, and it happens way more often than we think. 10. Loss hurts more than gain feels good. If you win $100, it feels nice, but if you lose $100, it feels worse. This is called loss aversion, and it's deeply rooted in human psychology. We're naturally more motivated to avoid pain than to chase reward. Marketers use this all the time. Don't miss out triggers more action than get yours now. Your brain is more afraid of losing than it is excited to win. 11. Repetition makes things seem true. The more often you hear something, even if it's false, the more likely you are to believe it. This is known as the illusory truth effect. The brain loves familiarity. Repetition creates familiarity, and familiarity feels like truth. That's why lies repeated often enough begin to sound real. It also explains how personal beliefs get stuck in our heads. If we repeat negative thoughts too often, we start treating them as facts. 12. Your brain can rewire itself at any age. You've probably heard the phrase, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. But science says otherwise. The brain is capable of neuroplasticity, changing its structure and building new pathways even in adulthood. That means habits can change, skills can improve, and emotional patterns can be rewired. No matter your age, your brain isn't fixed. It's flexible. 13. Sleep affects your mood more than you think. One night of poor sleep doesn't just make you tired, it messes with your emotional regulation. you're more likely to get angry, anxious, or overreact to small problems. Sleep resets your brain's control center. Without it, everything feels harder. In fact, sleep deprivation can mimic symptoms of depression and anxiety. Want a healthier mind? Start with better sleep. 14. Your environment shapes your behavior. You act differently depending on where you are. Studies show that people behave more honestly in clean, well-lit places. In messy, chaotic settings, they're more impulsive. This means your environment quietly influences your decisions. Want better habits? Start by redesigning your space. Even a tidy desk or a brighter room can make your brain feel calmer and more focused. 15. You shift personalities without realizing it. You have multiple versions of yourself: the work version, the with friends version, the alone at 2 a.m. version. This isn't fake, it's normal. Psychologists call it self-presentation. You adapt your behavior depending on who you're with and what's expected. But here's the twist. Sometimes we get lost in those roles. So ask yourself now and then, am I acting or am I being? You can trick your brain with body language. This one is wild. Your body can change your mind. If you stand tall, smile, and take up space for just 2 minutes, your brain starts to feel more confident, even if you weren't feeling that way before. This is called embodied cognition. Your posture doesn't just reflect your feelings, it also creates them. So yes, the phrase "fake it till you make it" has scientific roots. Your mind is full of shortcuts, illusions, and strange behaviors. But once you understand them, you become more powerful. You stop reacting blindly. You start choosing with awareness. You catch yourself when your brain tries to trick you, and slowly, you gain real control. These 15 psychological facts aren't just interesting, they're tools. And when used wisely, they can improve your decisions, your relationships, and your peace of mind.